Now, what was your budget on this film, and what kinds of methods of invention might you have used to get around any kind of budgetary restraints?
Well, the movie cost about $12.5 million.
And then at that point, what was sort of a regular action film budget?
Well, the first Terminator, which had been made two or 3 years earlier, cost $6.5. So this was double the budget of the original Terminator. The original Terminator, not the T2, which was $100 million. So this kind of bloated inflation has happened in the movie business, where I give you a figure and you go, that doesn't seem like much at all. But at that time, it was plenty to make this movie. We weren't hurting. But we didn't have the CGI. So everything you see in this movie is made by...
Actually happened. Everything in this movie actually happened.
That's right. See, if you don't have to pay for special effects or monster makeup because they actually exist, it makes it much easier. Seriously, this is a little soapbox of mine. CGI, when it's used well, is fantastic. Steven Spielberg and Jim Cameron and Bob Zemeckis and others use it very well. But there's something about the tactileness of like knowing that somebody built a little miniature Jeep to get sucked into the vortex. All that stuff is built by hand, and all of the effects are analog. They're actually shot on stages in tanks. And nowadays you have guys in front of computer monitors and changing the lighting and all that stuff, and it doesn't have life to it all the time. Sometimes it does, but I kind of like that there's a kind of funky analog quality to this movie.
Are there any particular things about this film that people generally don't know or aren't really out there?
There was a scene that we wrote for the movie. First of all, the prologue with Van Helsing and his minions. If you're wondering why Dracula just kind of disappears, he shows up and like goes, "Here I am," and then you don't see him anymore. We actually did shoot a sequence where he is staked by Van Helsing and his guys, and then comes back to life. And the prologue was so long, Peter Hyams said, they're going to think this is a Hammer movie, Get to the squad. And I'm not sure he was wrong. But there was a scene when they go into the scary mansion. They're looking for the amulet. And we wrote a scene where this sort of mysterious stranger shows up. And they go, "Who are you?" And he says, I hear you're looking for some strange amulet. And Fat Kid looks in the mirror and he sees the guy is basically invisible except he's got a latex face floating in midair, and realizes that it's actually Dracula because vampires don't throw reflections, as the scary German guy tells us. And he reveals himself as Dracula, and it's a big scare. But what happened was we cut that scene out before we shot it, but we actually had cast the role of the, what we call him, mysterious stranger, because I hate it in movies where an actor who's in the movie is clearly wearing makeup and you go, that's, I don't know who's seen The Prestige, but without giving anything away, The Prestige has this problem. It's like, that's him, come on, the makeup isn't selling me. So I said, let's hire another actor. So we hired another actor to play the mysterious man, and that was Liam Neeson. But he didn't work a day. Oh, and Screech was also in this movie, but we cut him out at the last minute. He was in the school at the beginning, and before the Fat Kid scene.
Was there any chance of the Invisible Man being in the film, or is he in the film already?
He's in every shot.
Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford?
He's the Invisible Man, right? Uncredited.
Yes. The Invisible Man is in every shot of the movie. He's naked, but he's in every shot of the movie.
When the film first came out, it didn't do so well at the box office, but before it came out and you were finished filming, was there any talk of a sequel with the studios, and what might they have wanted and what might you have wanted?
Not really. There was no talk of it, but I had this crazy idea, and this is before Roland Emmerich and Dean Devlin came on, because I had been hired to write a Godzilla movie in the 80s for Steve Miner. He was going to do it in 3D. This is my first job in Hollywood, was Godzilla 3D. I was writing a screenplay. And there was a part of me that thought that Eugene's dad is actually a fighter pilot. That's what he does for a living. And that the sequel would be The Monster Squad versus Godzilla. Because we've run out of monsters, you know? And ever since then, when people say sequel, I go, who's left? You know, I don't want to do Freddy Krueger and Michael Myers because we can't get the rights anyway. I mean, who's mythic like that? Hunchback, Family. Yeah, we'll go back. We'll do all the Lon Chaney characters. We'll do 11 After Midnight, Cat the Canary. Oh.
I think the Phantom of the Opera and Godzilla were good.
They actually had a vaudeville routine in the 20s.
That's awesome. So,
But they couldn't put them anywhere because it was like, okay, you can fit on the stage, but where are we going to put him?